Wes here, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the new album from Obsidian Chamber, Ein Platz Uncommon. And I'm really happy, with Rainer. He's always does so much for me by sending me these hard copies from Running Wild Productions, and he does a fantastic job of promoting these bands and giving them opportunities and sending me things like this. So it's absolutely fantastic. I appreciate what he does so much, and I hope I can deliver something back with my words and help them find get some new fans, and not only to Obsidian Chamber but everybody a part of this Running Wild Productions and everything he does. But one thing I wanted to mention before I get into the album a little bit is just these Austrian bands, when they write these stories and how well they do that, how well the music and lyrics reflects what the stories are. And this one up from Obsidian Chamber, the artwork is really uncanny. I really like the details. It's very like painted, portrait-esque, a lot of it. And one thing I just found about like the art truly reflects when you see it, you listen to it, and you read the lyrics and things. That like they're in German, so that's a little different, but in a good way. But I really felt like the artwork comes alive and things like that, and the music truly does reflect. And Obsidian Chamber does a fantastic job when they're telling the story and the lyrics, and then you listen to the music. The music truly does reflect what's going on in the story. As I'll dive into all this, I just wanted to show you this cool layout from this, and there was a booklet a part of it, and I wanted to try to show you some of this artwork that you get to see. And that's kind of just an art piece for the story, and it really does go hand in hand with the artwork go hand in hand with the lyrics and music. It's just uncanny how well they do this, and I've mentioned that in a few other albums that I've talked about from Running Wild Records, like Eons of Ashes and Obsidian Chamber stuff beforehand. But just really great artwork. Look how detailed that is. It looks so lifelike. But anyways, let's dive into the album a little bit. I really like the intro. The intro and I guess outro, which is here is called extra. But the intro and extra are quite uncanny. The characteristics of these short pieces are so full, dynamic and majestic, creates exquisite levels of eerie and ominous atmospheres that come alive even more so throughout the album. So you get the intro, and it really kind of sets the tone for what you're going to get out of these stories, musically, atmospherically, and so forth. So then we move on to the title track, Ein Platz Uncommon. This one certainly delivers clashes of eerie atmosphere against occasional musical blitzes, wonderful orchestral elements, strong, harsh, and clean vocals. The greed, coveting, and torment, the destruction in the lyrics truly gets conveyed musically. Like I said, it really everything from the music really conveys what's going on in the lyrics. The vocals work really does a tremendous job on that from Michael Kaiser. He just does an absolutely killer job. I like what he does. He can capture quite a bit with what he does, harsh and clean vocals and stuff like that. He's quite impressive. And like I always said, the German really adds a lot to it as well. This next song is one of my favorite. I believe, yeah, that's this guy here, this little piece. This one, artwork here, Der Rote Hon. I don't know if I got that one right, but I love the role playing of the violin and lead guitar work. This one was really cool to really sit down and listen to and absorb. The violin being poetic, kind of caressing the instruments along with the soft, nice, clean vocals, as where the lead guitar goes and takes the rhythms and the drums to complement the harsh vocals. And I felt these roles, kind of alternating tones, played well with this song, and kind of applied itself to the duo fractured psyche within the mind of the individual in the story. And I just like, that's what I mean is how the music reflected the lyrics in the story so much. I started to pick it up song after song. I got more and more visuals and intense and stuff like that as we go on. The next one is probably one that really leapt out. I really felt a lot of this one. The sadness, the slow, painful descent that really prevailed epically over this one here. Here's the artwork. I think I showed that one, but Zazel. I really felt so much over this, especially with the clean and harsh vocals delivering the two drastic dark emotions. The interlude in and out of the solo conveyed a lot of sorrowful, bleak emotion of the death. The death that was tremendously, you know, overtaking this song, and that would be the final sort of end, and that's the sort of gradual ascent we get throughout this song. So right off, you know, in this one, you just feel a lot of pain. This one might be hard for some listeners to absorb. They might feel it too much in Zazzle. Now this next one, I found some really unique additions here. I found the brilliantly added Orient and Middle Eastern flavors in Der Beste Kebab der Stadt. Now this one I felt, you know, like I said, I felt those flavors, and I felt them, you know, added so much to the song because of the journey that we get to go on and the musical path that we're led on, you know, of a unique chef, you know, journeying across the lands, learning his trade. This is the unique chef here, but I really got to feel that the Orient and Middle Eastern sort of flavors added into the music, and I really kind of, throughout the song, I'm kind of visualizing it and almost going along with it like I'm reading a novel. And I felt like, you know, listening to lyrics and reading them in English and things like that so I could grasp them a little better. And then the musical, I was just kind of like sitting there and each visualizing his whole journey like that. And I just thought, I was like, that one was really uncanny. And that's what I mean by like this album really reflects so much, you know, musically, and then you get to read the lyrics and feel a lot of it, and it comes to life so much. And I just felt like that through all the entire album, and that one was one that really captured a lot of visuals, literally gave me a lot, you know, was in that one. And the next one was pretty strong as well, but I really felt like a lot of the music, once again in the soul a lot. I wanted to mention how the singing in German, once again, added so much, and it really leapt out, and you really felt a lot. And it was almost like this is one of those songs that, you know, like I think, I can't say for sure, but you know, the other songs might be able to be sung in English and it could deliver the same way. But this one, I felt like it has to be German. This is the way, you know, and these are the emotions and the way everything needs to be done is in. This one might be a little trickier to pronounce for me. There's some nice artwork, but Es ging an Meilen Scharte. That one's a little trickier for me, but the poetic and powerful dramatic back and forth from Michael Kaiser and Tatiana Gonzalez was just uncanny. It was really great. I really liked what they delivered and really felt so much. It was very captivating, and they really painted a unique, grandiose visual for me and what they did. I kind of like that. Also musically, this song kind of takes a different direction, more ballad, more soft, peaceful. So we get a different flavor from Obsidian Chamber on this one compared to the rest of the album as well. And that's why I kind of like, there's a lot of different flavors on this one. It's not just hard hitting and dark so much all the time, even though that's kind of the overall atmosphere, but there is definitely a lot of different elements and flavors to a lot of songs. It's just this one, you know, this one stepped out of the kind of that pathway, but it still fits because you got that atmosphere and that pain within it. The next two songs that kind of closed out the album, I put them together because these two are a lot more faster and hard hitting. You got this cool one here, De Grube. I like that artwork, is really nice, and this one at the end right here, Stockmeister. You know, these two songs together, I felt like they really closed the back end of the album off, and these were Obsidian Chamber's hard-hitting, fast, in-your-face type of songs, close to the back end of the album, you know, like I said, with these blitzing ferocity and intense anger from all aspects with smidgens of intimidation. I just like that they switched it up, and they almost kind of did it backwards. For the most part, I feel like bands start off catchy, hard-hitting, get your attention. Obsidian Chamber kind of did it backwards here. They leave you on the edge of your seat with these hard-hitting, fast, aggressive songs in De Grube and Stockmeister. So there, like I said, there's a lot of flavors, a lot of different dimensions and things to soak up. The atmosphere, the vocals, just they put a lot into this album, I'd have to say. There was a lot here, you know, from Obsidian Chamber. I really like what they did. I really feel like this album, they had their last EP, Holzfaller, but this one I felt like they're really coming into their own. You really see and feel their direction. You feel the compositions, the completion. These guys are just, you know, hitting on all cylinders, in my opinion. you know, and they did a fantastic job. I really like Michael Kaiser, what he does on vocals. Jurgen over here, you know, what he's, you know, put together, you know, since he's a guitarist and orchestrator, you're like, ooh, pretty dynamic dude. But yeah, very, very pleased with this album. And thanks again for Rainer for sending me Ein Platz and Kamin. I'm really happy with this, and it's definitely up there, you know, for 2024's albums of the year. And this artwork, whew, this has got to be some of the best artwork I've ever seen for a cover, for a layout. Just really great job, guys. And I love the effort that they put in. This is the type of stuff that makes me just happy to come across or have guys send it to me and just dig into. You know, for a musician person, you really get to appreciate what Obsidian Chamber did here. And I guess I've talked quite a bit. Of course, all the links for this album, where to find it, and the songs that I've mentioned will be in the description below, along with my other content, and you know, my merch page, which I rarely mention, will all be down below. So feel free to check out some Obsidian Chamber, Ein Platz and Kamin. Really cool stuff. You know, lots to soak up. And until next time, folks, how about some heavy listening?